Gavin Gu here from Ultimate Reloader, and I want to invite you to not blow up your 1911 or any other pistol that you have for that matter. Seriously guys, reloading is both fun and a huge responsibility. One goof up with components or load data or a press malfunction and you could either have a squib load, you could double stack your bullets in the barrel, or worse, you could blow up your gun. So I wanted to make this video to talk to you about how you can enjoy your reloading and how you can enjoy your shooting without the worry of a catastrophic failure. Let's walk through this. So I've got my Hornady Lock and Load AP 5-station progressive press here set up for a session loading 45 ACP. The first thing I want to mention is using an auto-indexing press can help prevent double charges and squib loads because you're not going to have the RAM go up and down without indexing, and you're going to usually notice if there's a problem, a jam or that kind of thing, and clear all of the stations. A lot of the double charges I read about are from progressives that do not have auto indexing. The second thing, make sure of your components and load data. Just when I was setting up for this 45 ACP loading session, I had large rifle primers in the tube, and I thought to myself, well, it's a good thing I have a checklist so that I can catch these things and not use the wrong component. You could have the right load data, but if you don't have the right components, you could have a big problem. That transitions naturally to load data and component choice. Check your load data, double check your load data, triple check your load data, and check it again if that makes you feel good, because you need to be absolutely confident that you have the right powder charge, the right bullet, the right cartridge over length. When you set up your press, make sure you take a completed cartridge and check it to make sure that everything is A-OK. Those are a couple fundamental things, but in operation of your press during your reloading session, there's a couple other really important things that you can do. The first is visually check powder level every time. I have a lighting system here. This is from KMS Squared. I'll give you a little up close view here. This adds a lot of light and it makes it very hard to make a mistake if you're conscientious about looking at the powder level prior to placing the bullet each time. Now there's also mechanical aids that you can use. One of the most famous ones is the RCBS lockout die, which will stop the press if there's either too little powder or too much powder in the case. The downside is it's touchy. It has to be touchy. When you're talking about a 4-grain powder charge for 45 ACP, it needs to be very precise in terms of its allowable tolerance of error for powder charge. There's a couple other indicator dies. The Hornady powder cop die and the RCBS powder checker die work in a similar fashion. A rod is pushed up by the powder itself in the case, and you check that compared to a reference. These both use O-rings. The Hornady unit is pretty simple. You can set it so that your ring comes above level or to level, but it's something that you really need to focus on and pay super close attention to. Now, there's another thing that you can do that a lot of guys don't know about to be extra safe when you're loading 45 ACP or 9mm Parabellum, or even more so, something like 357 Magnum loaded down or 38 Special, where your load density is low. There's a lot of airspace. You can triple charge at 38 Special if you really wanted to. That is where bulky powders come in. This is Hodgdon Trail Boss, formerly IMR Trail Boss, and if you take a look up close here, it's a very bulky powder. It's like tiny little donuts that take up more space. The advantage of this is that it makes it almost impossible to double charge if you have the right charge weight. It's like a rifle. You load in 223, you can see the powder up there close to where the base of the bullet sits. You're at a high load density. If you double charge, it's going to spill everywhere, or the bullet won't press down, or both. So let me show you up close what that really means for 45 ACP. So here I have a 45 ACP 230 grain XTP bullet. Next to that, I have a load of CFE pistol, about 4.5, 4.7 grains. Next to that, I have 4.5 grains of Hodgdon Trail Boss. And you can see, looking at the level here, what a drastic difference that is. Let's go over to the press real quick. So I've got all 5 stations here. Looking down into the case, we can see that Trail Boss very, very clearly. It's a lighter powder. It reflects light better. And when we go to place our bullet, we can really see that. And then when we see the next shell in its position, we can see the powder level once again. So if you are super careful about your component selection and your load data, if you validate your components, you validate the cartridge overall length, and you use a mechanical aid. Dylan actually has a really good powder checker system that's for their presses specifically. It uses an audible alarm and it doesn't get in the way when you're not loading. It does make a noise, but it is a good system as well. So get a powder checking system, and if you don't want to use a powder checking system, here I'm using all 5 stations on this press, get a bulky powder like Trail Boss. Give yourself some peace of mind and load with confidence, shoot with confidence. Hopefully this video was helpful. If you have tips about how to be safe when loading .45 ACP or other pistol cartridges, please leave a comment. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't want to miss any of the action on ultimatereloader.com, please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, safe shooting, and happy reloading.